Welcome there, Minecrafters, who are looking for an awesome mod review on Industrial Craft. So Industrial Craft recently has had a lot of changes since its previous versions in 1.6.4 and 1.7.10. I'm currently running 1.7.10. This is an experimental version and very experimental. Let me tell you, you put a couple of mods in with this, you're going to be running really slow and you're not going to have any proper textures. Everything's going to be invisible. It's going to be really weird. I've had that issue, but it works pretty well. They have decent experimental versions. I haven't had crashes with it, at least the one I've downloaded. I'll put from 9 Minecraft. I'll put the link in the description. Also, there are some awesome things that you have to get, some add-ons that are just super awesome. So we'll start off with one of the most basic things you're going to need in this game. Now, rubber trees. They grow, they look like normal trees, except they have a bit of a darker wood and a bit of a different leaf. So what you want to do is basically what I've done here, and you're going to want to get rid of all the leaves, and you'll see spots like this. Now you're going to get, there are a couple tools you need for rubber trees. So you're going to need a tree tap, which you can make easily out of wood. Just note that I'm not giving any recipes, because all recipes can be easily found on their wiki, which should be linked in the description, or you should install Not Enough Items, which works perfectly with any mod, and it will not have every single recipe. That's what their wiki is for, and their wiki is really awesome. I've used it before. So the tree tap you can make easily with wood, and it's really nice to use. So you simply go over where it is, and you click it, and sap will fly out, and you'll get sticky resin. Then same thing with the electrical tree tap. It's not any more efficient. It's just you'll get a range from about 1 to 4. So you'll get sticky resin, which you can then smelt, and you will get rubber, which is required to make most cables. Now, the Industrial Craft 2, or Industrial Craft as it should just be called, adds in 4 new ores: lead, uranium, tin, and copper. All can be mined simply with an iron level pickaxe, but uranium is very special with the way it must be smelt. Unlike the others, which can easily be put in any furnace, it requires that you put it in a macerator. Now, another thing that it adds into the game is Iridium. Iridium is very rare, and you can only find it in dungeons and chests of that sort. That is why I will show you later what you do with it, as it is very rare. So here is the uranium ore. So you're going to need to put it in the macerator. Now the macerator will make any ore you have and double it. So 8 will become 16 crushed uranium. It takes a little bit of electricity and is very good. Also note, on all the machines, there is a small block up here. It means upgrades. The upgrades can be simply found over here, and you scroll down and you'll see upgrades. The overclocking upgrade, I suggest that you use at max 16, otherwise your machines will not work properly. Transformer upgrades increases the energy tier by 1. Which makes it faster and very much stronger to heavier current, which most of the smaller machines will blow up to. Energy stored upgrade increases the amount of energy that it can store. That way when your power runs out, you have more energy. The ejector upgrade will automatically output to the first valid side. This is very useful for quick setups. And same with the fluid ejector upgrade. It outputs stuff, and this inverts current redstone signal. So I have the pump set up here, which simply, this is the best. What you're going to want to do with a pump is have a 3x3 water area with the pump in the middle or on the side, and it will work beautifully. So you're going to want a fluid ejector upgrade on that. Then it upgrades to an ore washing plant, which I'll explain in just a minute. So the macerator will then double your ore, and it takes a bit of time. That's why I've been using just 12 of those, and look how much faster it runs. Anyways, we don't need that to run anymore. So then you put in your uranium. This is the only special ore that you need to actually do. The rest of the ores, you just put them in a furnace and it will be great. However, you can get a lot more ores this way if you so wish. So now you put your crushed uranium into an ore washing plant. Right there. The ore washing plant takes a little bit more time. You can simply use buckets of water to input your water. It will give you out tiny pile of lead dust, stone dust, and purified crushed uranium ore. These two are important for creating some of the things in the game, but the crushed uranium ore is the most important to get from your uranium ore, obviously. So once you've got that, you'll then need to put it in a thermal centrifuge, which will heat up. Note that having a redstone signal on top of any of the machines that need to heat up will make it keep its heat all the time. Most of the machines, excluding one, which I will show later on, need to heavy power still, even though they are not doing anything. So you'll get uranium. Now note that I have a containment box. When I take their uranium, look what happens. I have uranium, and it's really going up fast. So open the containment box, throw the uranium in. Now if you note, I have 56 seconds of uranium, and there's one really annoying thing about this. Yeah, milk does absolutely nothing to the uranium. It's pretty stupid. I'm sad. But if you're going to be really looking at uranium, you're going to need something called a scuba helmet, a hazmat suit, and rubber boots, which I will be explaining later on. So there are a couple generators in here which are the most basic and the ones that anyone using this mod will end up using. So we have a solar panel first. Gives out about 2 EUs for tick, which is very simple to understand. It's a power, and it's just power. So just think of it as 2 power. That's how I view it. The best case scenario is a solar flower like this, and then this is just a smaller version. You can search up videos on solar flowers in Industrial Craft, but this is probably the greatest way to maximize space and maximize power. The next is a wind generator. A special tool for this is the Windmeter. So using the Windmeter, you can check how much wind there is. So there's 18.45. And as you notice, we go up and up and up and up and up and up. It continues to go up until a certain point where it stops going up. Now, this changes based on your biome. There's a lot of factors that change it. So you can see the 39 was the max it hit. Now it's raining, and I am sad. And I cannot change, having issues changing to clear. Okay, there we go. So that tool is no longer useful if you're not using that. So it's going to be a little bit of a stretch to get wind power. However, it's a little bit more efficient than the solar panels. But you have to be pretty high up in order to do it. That's why if you have a sky base, this is an awesome machine. Next, we have a simple generator. Of course, it uses its regular old coal and then has a little bit of a buffer in it, which is very nice, of 4,000 EU. With this, you can charge tier 1 power tools. Then we have the lava generator, which is called Geothermal Generator. It generates based off your lava, and it has a very much larger, it has the same amount of space. Actually, it is larger, I believe, right? Yes, it is very much larger, and creates a lot more power because lava is a bit more efficient. We have the last generator that is pretty basic. It can be used in a 3x3 area like this to maximize the power output. However, note it is very slow. The faster way you can do it is take water buckets. It requires about 3, and this will turn into an actual water bucket and begin to look like this. So as I put that in, you see how it turns a little bit of a bucket? Yeah, that's how it works. And then it will create more power, a lot more power. Let me tell you that. It creates so much more power when you do that. So let's just go here and show you all that it creates a ton more power. Now look how much faster that is. That is a lot faster. Then we have a huge thing. It is the nuclear reactor. Now the nuclear reactor consists of a few pieces: a reactor chamber and the nuclear reactor itself. So you cannot paste in a nuclear chamber unless you first paste a nuclear reactor. Then you can paste it covering the surface, but you cannot try to paste it if it is not touching the nuclear reactor. Note, breaking the nuclear reactor will break the rest of the reactor chambers. All you need is to connect it to put in a bit of uranium, a bit of cooling. This is the way I've set it up. I like to set it up with, I think, 6 of these setups and have a lot of power, and the core temp never goes up. But a lot of people are going to set it up that way just because they think it works better, which I really disagree to. So the next part is you turn it on with a redstone signal, but if you're going to be using this, I really suggest you use an add-on called Nuclear Reactors add-on. That's what it's called. It and it allows you to turn it off when it gets to the point where it gets too hot, which is the water when water boils. Then so it gives a lot of output, but it requires a redstone signal in order to be turned on. Notice my core temp is very low. These cause massive explosions if they explode, and they're great for MFSUs and MFEs. You don't want these running to a BattBox, as a BattBox will max out immediately. If you're going to be running these, in order to stop it from exploding, or if you're going to want the nuclear add-on, but if you can't really help that you're a bit of a careless person, this is what you need. You need a door. It's called the reinforced door. You need reinforced glass or reinforced stone. These are materials that once double layers, so if you have a 2x2 wall block surrounding this, they will take the full impact of the reactor chamber blowing up. Next we have an awesome thing, charge pads. So we start off with a BattBox, which is a lower tier of everything, and you can step on it and it will charge whatever armor you have on and whatever weapon or electrical weapon is in your hand. And then there is the header. You can upgrade them to the higher standards, which will be able to power things like quantum suits, and yeah, pretty awesome. You just stand on them and they power it up. Takes a little bit of time for this one at least because I'm wearing very expensive stuff. So this gives off a higher voltage, and it doesn't have a low voltage, really super low voltage. So you're going to need, for some of these machines, you're going to need a low voltage transformer, and so there's a couple versions of these that you can look at the power tiers for machines, and they will tell you how much they output at max, how much they will not output, like the lowest they output, and then the machines tell you how much power they can take max without blowing up the wire. Then we have the BattBox. This is the lowest tier of batteries, and then the highest tier being an MFSU. They hold very different capacities and give off very different outputs. Yeah. So it also adds in a great number of furnaces. First we have the iron furnace, which is just a little bit faster. Note that speed is very good. It's just a tiny bit faster, guys. Not anything special. Just a little bit faster. Then we have an electric furnace, which simply runs off electricity. And you throw in your iron. It's about the same speed, just a tiny bit faster. And then we have the induction furnace. So the induction furnace slowly gains heat. However, you can keep it on with a redstone signal, like I've said before. And this is one of the machines that uses absolutely no extra power when I believe when it is on. You can also throw a stack in one side and a stack in the other. It is very fast. Note that awesome speed there. So it's great if you're doing a Let's Play series and you want to get things done immediately. So there's a lot of small machines. I've just taken out the ones that most people are going to end up using. So this fluid/solid canning machine, you're going to be needing that to create jetpacks and putting in cans and food and waste. Then the compressor, you're going to be needing this to create compressed coal balls, wet coal balls, compressed metals, and a bunch of things like that, which are required to make several types of tools. And then you're going to need a recycler. This makes something called scraps from things like cobblestone. It takes anything and it'll make a scrap. And it requires about 3 blocks and then it makes a scrap. Then there is the metal former, which you can simply put your metal right here. So over here. And then it will give you your wires. You just extruding, rolling, cutting, whatever you want. And it will make your metal. This is much better than the old way that it worked, where you used a hammer that looks like this in a crafting table. Then you use a wire cutter. Much, much better. So this is one of the greatest things in the mod, is a personal safe. This, no one else can access it except for you. No one else can break it except for you. It is like it cannot explode. That is awesome for keeping your stuff safe. So we have MFE and MFSU Upgrade Kit. So what this does is it takes it works on the MFE, which is a very expensive, which is required already to create the MFSU, and then you click on that and it creates the MFSU. Also adds in lots of bronze tools because it adds in bronze itself. So we have the bronze pickaxe, every tool that you need in bronze, but they're okay, they're decent, they're around iron level. They add wire cutters, which are required to create wire. Adds a handy dandy tool, which is actually required to, the tool wrench is required in order to break machines properly without retrieving back your basic machine casting. It gives you a CF sprayer, which is done for getting rid of making your plants grow faster. It gives you a toolbox, which I have right here. The old version used to take all the tools from your inventory and put them in it. Now you open it up and you can throw your tools in there. Then you just press E and you exit. It adds the forge hammer, which is required to use before you use the wire cutter to make your wire. It adds a mining drill, which is pretty fast and looks like iron. It has a decent power tier of 1. If you're going mining, by the way, I suggest you wear one of the power backpacks, which you can wear. I'll show you them in a minute. It adds a diamond tipped, which is obviously diamond mining level. Then it adds the iridium drill, which is a big, all near the max power tier, which is 3, and the max is actually 4. And it has Fortune 3. Awesome, great, I want to build it. However, Iridium, again, it's super rare, and you're going to have to do something very special in order to get it. Then they add the chainsaw, which cuts wood extremely fast and can save your leaves, so you don't need shears. However, you can actually kill. It has it can hit rate of 3. Then we have the electric wrench, which is, again, the electric version. Mining laser. This hits any block except for obsidian and will break it. That's the electric tree tapper. I have showed you that. The EU reader. You take this small reader, click any machine any machine, and it will tell you the output and the input. This is a nano lightsaber. It's really bad. You right click with it, then you attack, and it lights up, and it deals okay damage. Plasma launcher, again, not the greatest machine. A wind thing, which I've already showed you. It's the Windmeter. This is the Hazmat Suit. So the rubber boots, hazmat, and then the scuba helmet. So this allows you to pick up uranium and things like that without getting contaminated, which is also why you have a containment box. Then you have the plasma suit. Is that the plasma suit? Yeah, plasma suit. Nano suit, I mean. Yeah, nano suit. And this is a power tier 3, which is really great. It's a great machine still. Then you have your super awesome quantum suit, which allows you to jump really high when pressing control and run really fast. Pretty cool. I love it. Then you have jetpacks. Your regular jetpack and your electric one. The regular requires you to can things, and you can fly much higher than this one and faster. Then we have battery packs. Now, battery packs are simply batteries that you can put on your back. So when you go mining, this fills up all your tools and everything. And there is the battery pack, the tier 2 battery pack, and the energy pack. Then there's the CF sprayer, which is required when you use this tool to fertilize your panel ants. There is a solar helmet, which charges your armor and whatever is in your hand, whatever item is in your hand when it is daytime. There is the compressed suit, which is simply just a armor of compressed metal. Then there is the static boots, which also can be used with your suit of anti-containment suit. You have night vision goggles, which give you night vision, and it's not required any potion, and they look really awesome. Then you have dynamite and sticky dynamite. These they're really small. You can set them up to your remote. They're like C4, and you click the remote when you're far away, and they all blow up. This here is an electric hoe. Yeah. We have a little can of CF, so that's the weed sprayer, Weed X or something. It does really nothing, that one. Then we have a weed poker or something, really weird again. Then we have some simple bronze armor. Very, very decent armor. And it looks pretty cool. So there are different types of wires. There is uninsulated bronze, which you don't want to use. There is uninsulated gold, which again, do not use. There's insulated copper. This is the lowest tier and outputs the lowest. This is insulated gold. This is really high tier and outputs a lot of power. Then we have insulated tin. It's decent. It's between copper and gold, but not the best. We have this wire. You hook it up to a redstone signal, and it will stop the EU or allow it through, depending on what your redstone is. This is uninsulated tin. This is the top cable. You might have seen it all over the place. That's because it's the top cable, has the least... you can put the most cable and it won't run out right away. Yeah, it's the best cable in the game with the most power output. This is super thick cable, which is really the max most machines can push out, because this one requires a diamond and it's not expensive. Then here's another cable that you use to redstone signal and stops. So as I said before, you're going to need to do one huge thing in order to get your iridium. So you're going to need to take iridium, scan it in a scanner, then store in a pattern storage, which is what you can put this on, and then say transport to crystal memory. So export to crystal, and now this holds the item iridium ore. Then you're going to need a mass fabricator, which you use scrap boxes, which you can easily create from your scraps. Then you need a replicator, and you can single run this and it will recreate your iridium ore, and that's what you use iridium ore for. First it stores up the UU matter, then it stores up the electricity that it needs. Now the final thing is the explosives. So unlike regular TNT, which you can break and then paste back down, they have industrial TNT. So TNT and ITNT, which is industrial TNT. So let's light this up and look at this explosion. Very, very great, regular TNT, lots of fun. However, this, you can simply break it and it will explode, and much bigger. So usually that works a bit better. However, in Minecraft, that usually works a lot bigger of an explosion. It gave a little bit wider. So industrial TNT, you just break it, and yeah. So now everyone, I think, is asking these questions to themselves. How do we use nukes? Nukes. You require to have industrial TNT and the stuff in my containment box. So to end off this episode, I have a decent computer, so I'm not worried about any of this. So you throw in your industrial TNT. Then let's open our containment box. You know what? Let me get me some of that. Actually, wait. Oh, the quantum suit used to protect you from nuclear, but whatever. We'll throw all this in. And radiation should be gone in a second. But for a final showdown, time to blow up everything. Sorry guys, I'm a little sick. It's a little bit annoying. Still flashing. So that was a lower tier uranium. That's why it didn't do as much. But oh, wait a second. Let's just save and quit and see if that actually didn't do anything. Yeah, it actually didn't do much. How about we throw in a much larger amount though. So, let me show you with a much larger amount. A much better explosion you can get. So you simply throw in your industrial TNT. Then there's different types of uranium. So I'm going to use plutonium, which is probably the greatest. From my experimentations, I think it's the best. So it should be a really, really big explosion. Come on. Yeah, really big. Yeah. And there we are. We've annihilated the whole thing. So guys, thank you for checking out this tutorial. Go check out my channel, like this video, like all my other videos, subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Google+, whatever floats your boat. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.